drifting away. I lost my voice a while ago, but the breeze still feels so fine. I got no job to go to, but then I can't take orders anymore. There's a place that I once visited where I think I might like to live. There are things I need to do, but I can't remember when. Nobody looks out for me, and I no longer bother to take care of myself. Rolling downhill seems easy after climbing up for so very long. The roads I'm taking keep getting worse, but I keep driving farther out. I started out going somewhere, but can't remember where I've been. I'm still looking for the sun and winter that I lost so many years ago. Someone told this story I'm living, but I never got to read it. I gave all my paperwork to a lost Mexican way down in Arizona. Now I use the toll-free number of a phone sex queen for my SSN. Though I no longer drink the water, the cheap tequila is still all right. I post my philosophy online at the free internet in our great library. My hands look worn and I have no need of mirrors anymore. I go and swap the stuff I find for clean clothes at the thrift store. There's food to be had out behind most every other Safeway in California. Young guys beat me until I passed out, curled up like a sleeping baby. I appear mentally deficient, but I'm just exploring alternative lifestyles. But work so long, I'm thinking I might be permanently impaired. Still, the longer that I travel, the more roads I pass that I will never take. Like to take another bad job now and again, for just a day or two. Quite often spend time talking to real nice people from the other side. Feel good when I realize I don't even know what day it is. Somehow find time to swim for hours in the warm, freshwater lakes. Love to play parts that arouse the passion of the evangelicals. I have no appliances, no mortgages or lease payments. Don't even have any credit score at all anymore. Watch myself get cheated and ignored behind my toothless smile. Never miss the berry harvest as I go from east to west. Spend good times with some endangered species in places on my way. Shit my pants while in jail, but it kept my rear end safe. Try to go to the disaster sites to help out and then to eat all that good free food. Spent a winter in a cave somewhere in the Colorado mountains. Hiked Escalante in early spring before it got too hot and crowded. Got so lost I just started over in the next place I stumbled through. Some of the young folks stare and ask me questions for a while. Take care of old lost dogs for as long as they can make it. Washed in seawater for 6 weeks until the rains began to fall. Surfed with the seals and dove with the otters in the kelp. Penned for gold on Oregon's Rogue and smoked the salmon that I caught. Went fishing with a guy whose trailer I had just burnt to the ground. Had some women travel with me, but I cannot really care like I did long ago. Try to keep a low profile lest I be mistaken for a tourist or a terrorist. Frightened, tight-faced little mommies in their shining minivans. Their kids wave to me from back windows as they haul ass right on by. It's so much easier writing on yellow sticky notes than trying to explain. Never have lost that old flute I play at night when no one else is around. Spend a lot of time in the past when it gets real hot outside. Walk many miles a day without an adequate destination. Often stumble into free clinics with some kind of infection or another and got arrested with some hippies for simply hugging onto an old tree. Late at night like to ponder the quantum physics I read about in the library. Mumble to myself in Spanish just because it comes back to me. Figure that I am at least trying to make sense of what I see. Don't have that funny hankering for a noisy ATV. I take shelter under large spruce trees when it snows in April. Roll up with that mongrel dog who is sniffing around over there. Like to cook and bake for people when I get the chance. Watch myself from a safe vantage point as my life slips away. Saw that the boys were sent off to die for no good reason once again. Don't think the paranoia was quite so overt when I was younger. I have not spoken except 2 stray dogs for well under 5-6 years. Sometimes I howl with all my heart on blue-lit winter days. I piss blood and see bright spots, but I can still run with all my belongings, like to drift up north with the sun until the longest day in June. Spend time flooding the rivers when they are swollen with the snow melt. Watch the bears catch the salmon, and the whole country turn to shit. Listen to the birds that sang in between the roars of the savage traffic. We'll take a nap where it's cool and quiet on those hot afternoons. Cannot be found in market surveys, and am not a Target customer. Never forgot that girl I knew once upon a magic summertime. Lost my mom and dad real long ago and have no children to survive me. Spend time getting even in my mind with those who have slighted me. Can't drink too much anymore and gave up smoking long ago. Have a fear of noisy, crowded places that I have never overcome. Don't have a sense of style, but was taught to read and write quite well. Often like to go off into the woods by myself with the dogs. Enjoy the snowfall immensely when arriving from some hot, dry land. Worked 20 years with all my might, and then they just turned me out. Once found me a perfect spot and stayed there for the whole summer. Don't want to imagine life when there's too many people just like me. Lost my IRA and ripped through all my savings many years ago. The Social Security people don't know me, but it's quite all right. Try to avoid the cities as they seem to bring me only trouble. Stay away from my rural brothers and their silly, sickly meth labs. Write about it when I can and try to think a lot before I go back to the void. Did all the math back there in college, but sure don't need it now. I like to be up and about in that magic hour that comes just before the sunrise. Late afternoons and early evenings also suit my wandering taste. Learn not to look at women wearing sunglasses in new cars with their windows rolled up. Have trouble affording shoes that do not fall apart within just a few miles. Marvel at the expensive autos and the new clothes of everybody driving by, not sure that they are leaving anything behind except their trash. Thank my lucky stars when I see the way that most people suffers overseas. Sleeping in an empty woods and washing in a clean stream seems damn good. Like working odd jobs for the well-to-do and learning from them observing me. Don't get spam or junk mail or loan offers on the phone during dinner time. Left my Social Security contributions behind for those less fortunate than me. Take a curious and academic interest in the slow decay of my faculties. Sometimes meet young engineers and they tell me what projects excite them now. Spend time cleaning up the trash that people leave in our parks and forests. Lost all interest in politics just as I did in the other forms of mass entertainment. Found that you can trust those who are possessed of most any quiet faith. Try to be holed up somewhere safe on weekends and especially during holidays. Come out and travel during the work week when kids are at their schools. Cut my own hair and try to trim what's sprouting from my nose and ears. Gave up discussing social issues when I adjusted to this new lifestyle. Don't sit there begging with dumb placards on smoggy streets for a living. Eat the berries with the bears where it's still clean and quiet. Notice that my eyes are growing cloudy and my hands are gnarled and wrinkled. Do not have enough time to forget all the things that hurt before I leave. Wonder who needs those lessons now. They taught me so carefully long ago. Hope that very few can afford or will accept my chosen lifestyle. Like to engage in conversation with strangers and think about what they say. Take time to ponder where I came from and the void I stand so very close to. Cannot understand why everything has to be so goddamn noisy. Enjoy going out on the Great Plains of eastern Montana at the end of the fall. Glad when I don't know about a movie star or some asinine TV show in just the news with a European flavor on the BBC or Deutsche Welle. Laugh at the conservative creationists, scoff at the fuzzy thinking tree huggers. Eat right and try to think straight but can't seem to get it right with God. Sit there watching the big salmon finning in the shadows underneath the bridge. Watch the bulldozers as they rip up yet another peaceful meadow. Took too many rays for too long, but can't afford to have all them lesions fixed. Know where the sun rises at different latitudes at vital times of the year. Don't have to worry about trying to find my way back home anymore. Always clean up afterwards when I eat with other people. Have not watched a movie for years. Don't have a TV or a house to put one in. The times have passed me by, but I still get a good laugh at them. It's hard to be influenced by slick and expensive propaganda that I never see. Living in the past, I compare it with the sights and sounds of today. Always happy to help out when trees need to be planted. Try to give blood every once in a while, but nobody will take it. I like to ride up front in big SUVs just to feel that sense of power and real control. Keep my opinions to myself since they don't make no sense to others. Lost a couple of steps and added pounds to go with the bruises and the injuries. Haven't got any smarter, but I think I've learned from all that I have seen. Don't have any keys, and I swapped for my ID somewhere at a flea market. We'll stop to hear the aspen quaking next to a gently flowing stream. Not a real fan of eating on the go in some kind of moving vehicle. Take showers more often than I get to wash my clothes. Leave all my free camp spots cleaner than I found them. Won't pee near the creeks or leave toilet tissue in the underbrush. Need to overcome this fear and anger with those who just dropped their fast food wrappers. Worked with a young psycho who was the son I was glad I never had. Never felt real peace as traffic roared on by like I do somewhere in the woods. Must have real issues since I cannot accept smog and dirty pavements. Watched as others fumbled in a vacuum as I took the fall to further their careers. Stayed up late and got up early. Far too long for forgotten project goals. Don't want to poison, fertilize, water, and mow any neat rectangular bluegrass plot. Have a need to work at some fruit orchard at least once every harvest. Picked the grapes in the south of France one long autumn with the other gypsies. Followed the monarch butterflies down to Mexico one early winter. Added nothing to society and do not promote my selfish lifestyle to any others. Burned out and turned out. It was either adapt or perish, so I'm gone. Tired of seeing and hearing your loud, spoiled, and stupid kids ruining things. Lost my place in whatever book I was reading and had to start all over again. Won't believe in ghosts, God, New Age crystals, or ripping and burning iPod stuff. No use for war, deceit, politics, leadership, or the global economy. Spend no time dressing for success, but I don't have any debts. We'll take a little red wine now again in the evening. Like to think about how old is the universe and how short is my life. Got a pretty good idea that it won't really matter in 5 million years or so. Bake bread for the people who understand what crust is all about. Really is a relief not to be attracted by so many women anymore. Never had a yacht or a Ferrari, no trophy home or giant third home in Aspen. Wear designer clothes, finally marked way down, even at the thrift stores. Try to avoid places where they turn dogs upon me and their children throw stones. See a blind, amoebic contagion of progress in all directions everywhere I go. Tasted diesel fumes in the air for so long it makes me cough even now. Enjoy telling new bosses that I'm moving on as soon as I read them through. Don't have anything to barter for my dental work, so I brush with utmost care. Listen to theological scholars on AM radio sometimes, just for entertainment. Tossed a cast-off burning cigarette butt back into some guy's pickup truck. Went to the hospital for a month, but could not remember just what for. My only lasting address is good old free internet email. Still spending all that time I saved throughout those crazy years.